my name is Karine, this is Creative Everyday Life, and this is my knitting podcast. It has been about a month since the last podcast, so I am coming back finally to make a new one. I have brought me notes today so that I will not forget anything. And I also have a glass of water. Normally I would drink a cup of tea or something, but it is very warm in Denmark this week, and it looks like the next week will be warm as well. So I'm drinking water right now. And if you are coming from another part of the world, you might not think that 20 and 25 degrees, something along those lines, Celsius is very warm, but to me and other Danish people, or someone who is used to living the same, what is it called, part of the world, either in the northern or in the south, where the temperature is lower normally, and this is very warm. But I'm sure if you come from Spain or anything like that, you would find it very cold. Yeah, good. So first of all, I will say happy, sorry, I had to remember the name. Happy Pinse. I was about to say that is the Danish word for Pentecost, also in Hebrew known as Shavuot. But I hope that you have a very nice day wherever you are, whether you are Christian or something else. We have an extra day off this weekend because of this holiday, so it is very nice. Yes. Also, no, I will get into that later. First, I'll normally tell what I'm wearing, but it's too warm for me to wear anything that I have knitted. I have not knitted a lot of summer clothing, and that is a problem that I will look into, but that part is out of the way. So I will move on to the first part, that is finished objects, or the second part, I guess. So finished objects from last time is this sweater. Ta-da! I have called it Talks sweater for a while, but that is a patented name of the screws from a specific brand, so I will not be able to call it that. So if you have an idea on what I can call this beautiful sweater, please let me know in the comments. I don't know if I should call it something in English or in Danish. I could call it something like håndværksvætter, which means craftsman sweater, because it was inspired by crafts. You can tell the wrenches up here, and this was from the screws that was inspired. But I could also go completely different and call it something else, like green sun, or I don't know. I'm actually really open for any ideas on what to call it. But yeah, so I have written the pattern both in Danish and in English, and I will be starting the test knit of this June the 1st and running it for about 2 months. A little longer if you need it. But so far I have 3 wonderful ladies that is going to help me, but I have more spots on the way. I actually want to talk about one of the test knitters, because I have 3 wonderful ladies that have wrote to me. I'm assuming by the name they are ladies. And one of them is actually from New Zealand. And that is, to me, very amazing. I am sure that it is probably as exotic in New Zealand to listen to someone from Denmark, but New Zealand is absolutely one of my favorite countries. I went there back in 2007, so it's a long time ago. and was able to try to drive in the other side of the road and go and see all of the beautiful sceneries and nature that is in New Zealand. I was only on the southern island, so we landed in Christchurch, and then we drove, me and two other girls, we drove around and saw a lot of different things. We were on whale safari and cave rafting and a lot of things. It was a once in a lifetime experience, but I really want to go back someday. My husband and I are talking about when we don't have our dog anymore. He's only 4 years old, so hopefully that would be a long time. But when we don't have him anymore, it would be very nice to go like a month or more to New Zealand and see the landscape, meet the people. As I remember it, I was going there in January. So first of all, it felt like every color just popped back on because we had winter in Denmark, where there are no colors. And it is summertime in New Zealand because, of course, it's the other side of the world. But people were super friendly and helpful, and it was amazing to be a tourist there. Yeah, again, the landscape was amazing. People could talk English, which was very nice because it is harder to travel in some places in Europe, like France or something. Nowadays it's easier, but when I was a child, people didn't speak anything else than their native language, so you couldn't communicate very well. But that was not a problem when I was in New Zealand. Yeah, the nature and the people and everything was amazing. At that time I actually said yes to going very spontaneously because I am a huge Lord of the Ring fans, and I wanted to go to New Zealand after seeing the movies. I just thought it was like a magical place. But the most is shot on the northern island. So I hope if I'm able to someday go back, I would like to go to the northern part at least of New Zealand and see Hobbiton and everything. But yeah, we will see if it happens or not. But I am really excited that this lady from New Zealand is going to be test knitting. I do believe her husband has Danish roots, if I'm not mistaken. I did suggest a very traditional Danish knitting pattern for her a long time ago. I actually have forgotten about it, but she sent me beautiful pictures, so thank you so much. I'm so happy. It really made my day. That was just one of my test knitters. I don't know if you like me to use your names or not. That is why I'm not using names, because yeah, I don't know if you think it is like, yes, you named me, or it's please don't say who I am. But maybe I will talk more about some of my fantastic test knitters if they are okay with it in upcoming videos. But I'm looking for more test knitters so far. It's of course okay if I only get the 3, but I was hoping to get maybe a couple of more. And I have the sizes, the men's sizes, but you can downsize it to women's. I have from medium to XL. So if there are any of the other sizes, or if you wanna knit it in Danish, check out the other video that I will leave a link for it down below. But I have made another video that give you all the instructions. I'm not able to pay you anything or give you yarn or something like that, but you will of course get the free pattern, and I will help you if there are anything you need help with during the test knit. And I would really like to have pictures of the finished sweaters afterwards, to see. I really want to see when people knit my sweaters, and I don't think I have seen anyone knit my patterns before. I have only gotten a message that someone did. But anyways, if you're not interested in the test knit, please still leave an idea for this, for the name of this. That's completely free, so it will not take you more than time. And let me know if you would prefer me to give it a Danish pattern or English pattern. You might like the English pattern because it will be easier to say, or you might like the Danish pattern because it might be more exotic, but I don't know if what you prefer. I could call it something that's just like green, like grøn in Danish, but I don't know. I might come up with something. If I get no suggestion, I will find a name for it, of course, but please let me know if you have any ideas. It would be so much fun that one of you named it. Yeah. What else can I say about this? It is made from knitting with olive, heavy merino wool, and I chose the wool because I wanted my husband to have a wool sweater, but I prefer it to be 100% wool, non-superwash, both for the environment and also I don't like having plastic in products. I feel like the quality is going down when you add plastic to products most of the times. I know that if you're knitting socks that it will most of the time hold longer, but I think we have too much plastic and I would like to think a little bit more on how to not impact badly to the environment and stuff like that. But anyways, he is not fond of the Icelandic wool. He thinks it's way too scratchy, and the sweaters that I have knit to him, he have not been using a lot, only like to be nice, and not as a everyday sweater. So I hope this merino wool will be the thing that he will actually use. So far he has only worn it once when it was almost done, because we want to take some footy shoots of him with this. I don't know if we will wait until we are on holiday to get some very beautiful landscape in the background, or if we will do it before. But anyways, here it is, and I am very happy about it. I would also say that the yarn, I have them over here. The knitting with olive, I have not used their products before, and it is a Danish brand. They don't produce the wool, but they are well, they produce it, but it is not made in Denmark. And yeah, it is both. They are thinking about welfare of the animals and people getting paid well and stuff like that. So I think it is a good product. It's a little bit on the more expensive side, I think, but it's not the worst that I have come across. And I think I would like to buy some more of this in the future because I like to knit with it. They have not given me any discounts or anything, so this is only sponsored by myself, so don't worry. I'm trying to be as honest as I can about this, just to let you know what my opinion is, if you're thinking about buying this. But I like the feel of it, I like to work with it, and I like that there are many different colors. But yeah, there is of course a lot of other very great products, and I would recommend anybody to buy locally if they can, if they have some kind of good quality wool in their home country. I think that would be way better. And I will just say, if you're going with 100% wool and going with the same yardage or meters per grams, I don't think there will be any problem to switch this out with any other kind of wool. But yeah, so that was my finished object. It is the only finished object, and I did use a lot of time writing up the pattern because I wrote it first in Danish and then translated it to English, and it takes me a little time to do that. And making sure that the math is correctly, and making sure that I'm writing it in a way that hopefully people will be able to understand, so it's just not an inside pattern. You know, your notes, I don't know if you do that, but I sometimes make notes where I, even when I read it myself afterwards, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I wanted this to be a clear pattern. I hope that I succeeded, but that is what the testknit is for. So, yes, but finished objects. Let me just check my name, my list here. So, okay, I will go on to the work in progress, my whips. Oh, my dog just came in and lied down. Yes, let me take the sweater that I'm working on first. So, I am working on an Icelandic sweater for myself. And this is how far I have gotten. Ta-da! So, I do remember, if I'm not if I can speak, if I'm not misremembering it, if I'm remembering it correctly, I just got the yarn when I made the last knitting podcast. So the deal with this was anyway that I make myself deals when it comes to knitting, but the deal was to myself that I would start this first. I was only able to start it when I was going to when I was at the yoke part of the other sweater here, just because otherwise I would just knit this part and then I would have to knit the part of the body on both of them, and I really think it is boring to just knit stockinette stitch, but it is going to be so pretty. I also I showed you the wrong yarn because there was a mix-up last time. Let me just see if I can get it here. Yeah. So this was the actual color that I needed for it to be together with these two. I got another one, and I don't know. I think it is this over here. Can you tell it? It is over here, but it is darker, and it was a mix-up from the company that I bought it from, and now I have forgotten what they're called. If you are from Denmark, let me know if you want a company that has really good really good customer service, because I wrote to them and said, this is missing and here is a picture and I'm sure you made a mistake. Could you please send me the one that I'm missing? They sent it right away. They sent it the same day, and I think it came a day or two later, and they actually gave me a free pattern with it, which they did not have to do. I was actually quite shocked that they did that. Maybe it was because I was so polite, or maybe that is just what they normally do. I have no idea, but it was very nice. The fact that they just sent it right away, I was so happy about. I was afraid that they would say, sorry, you can't prove that, or something like that. I would still have bought from them maybe, but this was such a nice service that it came so fast, and they gave me the extra of a little knitting pattern. So this is the correct color for this Riddari. I never found out what it was called, sweater, but this is how far I have gotten. So God willing, we are going to Iceland this summer, and I hope this will be ready so I can take this with me also. But other than that, I have the green sweater that I finished a month or two ago, I'm not sure. But yes, so slow progress. The other thing that I'm working on, and if you if you have seen some of the last ones or seen any of the knitting podcasts this year, you will know that I am working on a temperature blanket as a gift. And I know we are in the middle of the month now, but I have only knitted up to, I'm just checking, yeah, I only knitted up to the last month, so that you can see the month going on. I tend to knit it like over a couple of days, because when I'm in the zone I just want to knit a lot of this and then I want to knit something else. In the beginning I was trying to knit maybe every day or every week at least, but I find that it is a lot of work to get it all out and then only knit one row, because it takes me about 2 minutes to knit a row. So I like to dedicate an afternoon or a couple of afternoons and a month and then get it done. But it is going to be so beautiful, so I'm not complaining at all. So this is what it's looking like right now. It is almost getting too big to be able to see it all at once, but this is the, let me just see, this is the month of April. So if you are new to temperature blankets, I will just quickly say that you are knitting or crocheting a row for the color. In my case it is the highest temperature of the day, and you can make any kind of temperature scale and choose any colors that you would like, but this is my colors. So I've chosen these 10 colors, and then I have the gray as a divider between the months. So I have 4 of the months right now. Let me just put that down. So we have January here, the coldest of the month. It's the only one with black in it. Then we have February up here. It is a little warmer. And then March is up to here, where we have the first of the brown stripes in it, so it's getting warmer again. And then we have April right here. And if you are able to tell, you can see that there are a lot of brown days, and it is up to 17 to 20 degrees Celsius that there is in this one. And did we have, just have to check. Yeah, that is the highest in April. We will of course get higher degrees in May, because a lot of the days have been above 20s. So I'm assuming that this month will be a lot of brown, maybe even some yellow and maybe even red, I don't know. I am very excited to look into that. I will probably be doing that this evening, because yeah, I totally forgot that I might have to use new colors, and that is actually the most exciting part of this temperature blanket for me. It is seeing if the colors are coming and what is next. So this is how it is looking so far. I will just lay it double so you can see it better. Well, I think it is very lovely, and I think this will be a very appreciated gift. So yeah, oh, I dropped some stitches. Let me just check I didn't do anything. Okay. So that is my temperature blanket so far. If you haven't seen, I think I have shown it, but I have this basket full of the colors, and I have made them so I can easily pick the colors that I need and then and see them all at once. It's getting a little bit messy with the parts where I have used most of the yarn in the blues, but we will see. Anyways, I have one more work in progress that I will show, but before I will show you that, I will show you my new purchase, because I have started on a new project. So yesterday I went with my mother and my grandmother to a shop that has a lot of things for creative-minded peoples. In the kind of hobbies that I really like. So there is a lot of fabrics. I would actually say more than half of the store was fabric from floor to ceiling, literally. I have never seen them. I have never seen a store packed with fabric in this kind of way in real life. I've only seen that in movies or in YouTube videos where people have shown where they get their fabrics from. It was incredible, and I would love to go back and buy a lot of fabric. I only bought one piece of fabric for a pillow, but I will not show you that. That is for a gift of someone who might see this video. Maybe not, but I will not disclaim that one. I'll not show that yet. Maybe in a year you have seen it, but anyways, they also had a lot of yarn. One of the yarn they had was Letlobi. I did not buy any of that this time, but it was one of the things they had. And there was also like cross stitch things and drawing things, and a lot of things was there. So it was heaven for creative people. Well, maybe not all kind of creative people, but you get what I am trying to say. In Danish we would call it håndarbejde if it is yarn and fabrics and that kind of things, but I don't know if there is an English term for that. Let me know in the comments if you know. But I've fell for a lot of different kind of colors, and let me just, before I show you this, say that I was looking for yarn for something summer related. As you can tell, this is not knitted, and I don't have a lot of knits that are good for summer. I have two, but one of them is not that great, and the other one is one that my grandmother knit that I do use a lot, but I would like something that I also have knitted that I want to wear. So hopefully this will be the case. So I went there and I found this pattern. So as you can tell, it is like a t-shirt kind of top, and it has this lace in the bottom part here and on the sleeves. And it is from these guys, Pernim. I'm not sure what they're called. And they have also a yarn brand, and the yarn brand is called, or this type, there is different sizes, and this one is called Esther. But I couldn't decide on which color to pick, so I bought for two different t-shirts. Yeah, I couldn't decide. I'm actually there's still a couple of more colors that I was thinking of getting that I'm now thinking that maybe I should have gotten those, or should have gotten those instead. I'm not sure, but it is so hard when you're standing in a shop with a lot of yarn. And I think they had a hole from, well, not from ceiling, but from very high above and to the floor. There was colors where every shelf had maybe 4 different colors of just this kind of yarn. So I could not decide very easily. So I ended up buying 2. This burnt brown color. I don't know if it's showing up. It is a little bit darker than on the camera, I think. And then this green, teal kind of green color. It is a little bit more vibrant in real life, but yeah. Anyways, I bought from both pattern of both color. I bought enough to make one of these. So I will try to knit this one, and then I will see if I like to wear it, and then I can knit the other one. Or if I like to knit it, I might go rogue and either make another pattern myself, where it has instead of lace, has color work on the yoke, and it's knit. This one is knitted top down, and I normally prefer it to be from the bottom up that you knit it, but this one has all of the fun details in the bottom, so I think this will be fine because I just want to go down and make the fun details. So I am pretty sure that I might actually be able to stay motivated to knit this one. But I have of course started on one of them. So this is how far I have gotten so far. So it is of course from the top down, so I have a long way to go yet. But it's very interesting because normally I have had increases or decreases where it is either in a pattern or it is raglan. But this is neither. There are on the top of the shoulders and 2 on each side here, so there are 6 places that you are increasing. And yeah, you can tell it on this photo maybe, but the increases are like here above the bust and then over the shoulder, and the same on the back. I am very interested to see if this will fit my body very well, or if this is not me, because when I have made raglan increases, I don't think it fits my body so well. It fits some body types very well and others not so much. I actually like the round yoke better, but this is a different kind of take, so maybe this will be my new favorite thing, or maybe I don't like it at all. I'm very interested to find out, but it is very thin and light, and I hope that this will turn out to be a great summer tee that I can use, hopefully even this summer. But yeah, you never know. The Danish summer is very short, so I don't know if I will be able to use it, but maybe I will have it for this year. But other than that, the great thing about homemade clothing I find is that I can use it for many years. So if I can make some now, then I will be able to have them for a long time. Let me just say that this is it is 55% wool and 45% cotton. So it is like a light warm. I don't know how to say. I have knitted with these with this brand before. That I made a scarf, and it is very nice to wear. It is very, very soft and holds its shape very nice. So I think that cotton can get very heavy and lose its shape, where wool is better to keep its shape, but wool is more scratchy and cotton is more soft. And this combo, I feel they have balanced it perfectly. So that is very nice. And there is no superwash. And ethically made, it also says. So yes, so this is the first one of my work in progress that I just started last night, but I hope to get this done so I can wear it soon. What else did I want to talk about? So the only thing else that I have to talk about is actually just spring. I don't know how spring is where you live, but in Denmark it is the last couple of years it has gotten very warm, very dry, and normally spring is very rainy, but we have not had water for at least a week, maybe more, and that is very it is starting to be a new normal in Denmark, but it kind of scares me because normally Denmark is raining all the time, but the last couple of years we have had droughts that has been going on for like a month or something like that. But other than that, springtime is, since we moved out here to the countryside, it has been a lot about getting the garden started. And we are still, it's only year 2 we are here, so in the first year we were not able to have a garden, so this is the second year we are starting up a garden. And it is a lot of work. It can get a little bit overwhelming, mostly because we have work and then we come home and there are things, of course, to do, like keeping the house clean and getting food done and so on. And then we have to try to get out and do things on the farm, I was almost saying, on our little tiny homestead. But I have been sprouting a lot of different things, like tomato plants and other seedlings in the window seal in the windows. And the greenhouse is now fully stocked with tomatoes and red peppers and a couple of cucumbers. And I'm still sprouting a little bit out in the greenhouse, a little bit indoor and a little bit in the sunroom. But I am starting to get things outside in the big kitchen garden. It is a big one we have because it is, the fenced in area is about 250 square meters. That is more than our house. That is almost double the size of our house, and we have the part that is not fenced in, we made a potato field where there will also be growing sunflowers and corn. So there is a lot of things going out there. The onions and garlic that we put in the ground in October has come up, so that is very nice. I have 3 semi-raised beds that is fully stocked with, one is filled with strawberries, and one has there are some red onions, and then there are spinach and radishes. Radish. I'm sorry if I'm saying the vegetables incorrectly. Some of them is almost the same in Danish, and I actually find it harder to say things that are very close to. It is easier to remember, but harder to pronunciate. When you are going to say radishes. They are called tradiser in Danish, so it is very close, and I'm not quite sure if I'm saying it correctly. But anyways, in the last raised bed I put out the leftover tomatoes. I had too many tomatoes for the greenhouse, so I put a bunch out in the raised bed just to see if they come. I have raised tomatoes in a raised bed when we were living in the apartment, but yeah, why not? Let's just see what happens. I have put the peas in the ground. I have also sprouted chickpeas, and I hope they will produce something this year. I tried last year to just start them outside, and I think there were only 2 plants that even came up over the ground, and only one of them made the shelves, but there were no peas inside, so that was disappointing. But I have read that chickpeas don't really grow so well in Denmark because they like it way more warm and a longer season than we have. But I'm just still going to try because we have the space. And I really like chickpeas for hummus and stuff like that. So I want to try to grow some. But the normal peas I have had great success with last year, so we just threw a bunch in the ground, and I actually chose some that had different colors this year too. So some of them are red and brown and stuff like that, and I am very excited to see if they're doing well and if they taste well. I have no idea. I just bought the dried peas to put in the ground. I also tried to buy some corn that I have not tried before. We tried corn last year, but I only put, I think, 9 in the ground, and 1 came up and only got about this size. So it was not a success at all. But this year I have in the greenhouse right now, I have sprouting. I think there's 80. So it is way more than last year. And I bought some that is called, well, they're called Indianermajs in Danish. So Indians or Native American corn, it is called. And it should be the same kind that the Native Americans used, maybe, but they have a lot of different colors, so it is very exciting to see the colors. But you can eat them fresh, of course, but they are more than that designed so that you can but they work very well where you dry them on the cob and then just keep them, and then you can use them to make flour, to bake bread and stuff, and you can use it for feeding chickens, of course. And yeah, they should be very versatile. I'm hoping to be able to make corn flour and then use that for well, a lot of different things, but mostly pasta and stuff like that. That would be really awesome, because that is actually, I can't eat gluten, so we buy spaghetti that is made from water and corn flour. Sorry, every time I say corn it sounds wrong, because in Danish corn is wheat and barley and stuff like that. Everything that goes, with the seeds, and it is not the same. So corn in English, that is mice in Danish. So I have to switch my brain every time. I'm sorry if I sound confused. But the corn flour is in a lot of the gluten-free products that we buy, because if it is made from wheat, it is typically made very processed. Let's just say it like that. Where if I can buy it where it's more natural ingredients like corn flour and buckwheat flour and rice flour and stuff like that, then I can first of all get it organic, which I really prefer, and it just seems more natural. Rice is not really something that you can grow in Denmark, but the corn we can grow, and normally it's mostly grown for feed, like for pigs and stuff, and not as much to consume as flowers and stuff like that. And we don't have a culture like I see in other countries where they eat a lot of whole corns. We do sometimes, but I have not grown up with it, and I think I have tasted it 1 or 2 times in my life. So it's not really a big culture of corn, but it is more potatoes we grow in Denmark and eat a lot of. But I think this could be very interesting, and also to have some varieties from the potatoes. So we have put about 200 potatoes in the ground. So it's a little bit less than last year, but about the same. We did have to throw some out this year, mostly because, well, there are 2 reasons. One of the reasons is they simply sprouted for us. We had them in our pantry room in the barn, but when the temperature raises, they will start to get these little eyes, and if you don't sprouts, I don't know if you call them eyes in English, do you call them that? But they will start to sprout, and if you don't take them off, they will continue to sprout. If you take them outside in the sun, the sprouts will be very small and green. But if you leave them in there, we found out this year, I have only heard this one time before and I didn't believe it, but if you leave them in there, they will grow very long, and yeah, that was not what we were looking for. That was one of the problem. The second problem was that the field that we are growing our vegetable garden in, it has been a grass field for a long time. So it is filled with these very small worms that are in the grass, and they have infiltrated almost every single potato that we harvested the last year. So we had not a lot of motivation to go out and peel them, because it just took forever, and you were throwing out most of the potato every time that you were peeling one, because they were filled with the tunnels the worms have dug. And yeah, you don't want to eat a worm, or half a worm, or a worm tunnel for that matter. Yeah, but they say this will take about 3 or 4 years, and then it will be gone. So we just have to hang in there, and I still think that it is worth the effort just to go out and eat your own things. I also think that we simply harvested them too late. If we have harvested them in the beginning of October instead of the end of October, there might not have been as many worms, because we did not have the same problem with the beets that we grew last year. So hopefully we will be able to just harvest them a little earlier and then be out of that problem. But yeah, so we have planted a lot less potatoes than last year, but I'm hoping that we will be able to eat most of them, and then we have to remember to get the ones that we wanna put back in the ground into the light so that they will not go all long and useless. I would love to know if you are in the garden too, but there was a lot of rant about homesteading life on a knitting podcast, I know. But yeah, I do find it a little bit cozy to sit here and talk to you while I'm knitting. So yeah, I can see that I'm going up to an hour, so maybe I should start to cut this short. This is very long. That was all for this time. I hope that you have a very blessed day wherever you are in the world. And yeah, that you and your family are well. Have a very nice day and God bless you. Hi.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.